Hello, everyone, as welcome to my preview of the New Beginning in Hiroshima shows. As the two shows scheduled for the 10th and the 11th of February, of course, as two shows, they got six matches per card. As there's a couple of title matches we have on the first night, we have the tag titles and the junior title, and then on the second night we have the six-man and the heavyweight and intercontinental title. Obviously, there's still one goddamn thing, but maybe eventually they'll break that up. As of course, we'll start with the first night. As we're starting off in the opener, it's a six-man, as it's the Young Lion team of Gabriel Kidd, Uemura, and Yotasuji taking on that Suzuki Gun. Obviously, Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. So yeah, obviously the Suzuki Gun team's going to beat the Young Lion team. Yeah, pretty much, pretty standard stuff there. As it's, Young Lion's gonna probably get married by Minoru Suzuki. It's all well and fun. As we're moving on to the next matchup, which is gonna be Master Wato and Bushi. Here we go. We got some more and more undercard singles matches. I'm liking the change, Gato. We're finally getting a lot more singles matches lined up here in these tours. As Master Wato and Bushi, they've had one match before. Bushi won it. Here, I think it's going to be Wato getting the win back, as he's going to, kind of set forth as now it's kind of his year to kind of get some wins under his belt after, post excursion. He kind of lost a couple. Now he's time to bring it on more and more wins for him. As I think it's going to be a great, big step for him, as we're hoping he can be up the card more in the junior division to where once if everything goes well and we come back in June with the Best Super Juniors, it'll be a lot of fun. And maybe, hopefully, I'm hoping that they'll keep the Best Super Juniors still in June if crowds can happen, if that's a big deal, if still COVID's a big deal in June. But if it's not, I'm sure it'll be back to December for where it's sharing the World Tag League spot, which that would definitely suck. But yeah, Master Wato getting a win over Bushi, avenging his first loss against Bushi. That's fun. It's a fun match, though. I like it. Let's go on to the next matchup, which is a 5 versus 5 Bullet Club Chaos tag matchup here. As we have Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Toru Yano of the Chaos team taking on the Bullet Club team of Evil, Jay White, Yujiro Takahashi, Taiji Shimoi, and El Phantasmo. So we have basically on the second night that it's going to be a Chaos Bullet Club six-man for the Never Openweight belts, where Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Goto are going to take on Jay White and God, which I've been loving kind of the build between that match, as Jay White at I believe it was the previous New Beginning Road 2 show. Goto was on commentary. He left the commentary table and attacked Jay White, which then Jay White complained to the New Japan office about it, and they reprimanded him. They said an official press conference thing. Pretty fun. It's Jay White being that smarky heel. So far, he's had just a great 2021 arc. The teasing that this is gonna be a different Jay White. It seemed like it was alluding that might be leaving. He stays. He comes back. Just a month off. It wasn't even that big of a deal, but it comes back and he's got his, the sights set right now on Chaos, and having a Chaos Bullet Club kind of mini feud seems to be what's going on for this New Beginning tour, at least. We'll see if it keeps on going throughout the year, but it seems like it's a good direction for him. And so it's always going to be, New Japan's kind of main to, I would say, kind of babyface stable and heel stable of Chaos Bullet Club. It's been a thing that's been going on for a decade now, almost. I mean, it's just been, a staple point of New Japan. It's been a Chaos Bullet Club feud. But this is, got some new wrinkles to it, obviously, with now, Evil kind of joining the frame. As it's kind of more of Evil Okada's kind of been the main thing, and then Jay White with God as far as the six-man titles. Because that's, it's been interesting. Interesting new wrinkles. So our next matchup, and an interesting matchup to say, is Kota Ibushi and Tomoaki Hama taking on Sanada and Naito. What an interesting tag match this is. It's obviously one of these things is not like the other. It's Tomoaki Hama in a pretty big spot here. I mean, obviously, it's still a mid-card tag match, but the players involved, I mean, you got Kota Ibushi, Tetsuya Naito, and Sanada. As what a fun, like, just Ibushi and Hanma as like an undercard tag team as far as kind of like the line mark kind of team. It's interesting. Never would have saw that coming as far as just two crazy bastards, though. My God, as Kota Ibushi and Tomoaki Hanma. But yeah, this is going to be obviously having Hanma take the fall for Sonata as Sonata builds up to his title matchup for the next night. So that's just kind of where Hanma's at. He's here to take the fall. But still, it's intriguing, the Hanma Ibushi team. It's intriguing to see how that plays out, to be honest. To see if. I'm assuming they're not going to have like any chemistry at all. Maybe some slight bits of tag work, but other than that, I'm sure it's just going to be mainly just Hanma there to take the fall and take the heat for Ibushi. But the next matchup, it is the co-main event, and it's for the IWGP Tag Team titles. It's the rematch from Wrestle Kingdom. Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa taking on Dangerous Tekkers, Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi. So obviously the tag record being 4-0. Thought for sure Dangerous Tekkers, I thought they should have won going into Wrestle Kingdom. Then they end up losing to fucking GOD, and GOD getting another reign. Tag titles, I mean, it's gotta happen. Like, Tai Chi's actually, they gotta win the belts. They just got to. They gotta get that loss. Finally, they're gonna give a loss to GOD, making it at least 4-1. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is with this heavyweight tag division. It's definitely the weakest spot for New Japan, as has been, at least in this somewhat decade now. It was even the new decade as far as the past year. Even though, granted, half of it was COVID-ridden, it's just going into the decade, it definitely was a glaring weak spot, and it's still a glaring weak spot. At least, Dangerous Tekkers, it's a fun team. It's a team that I think can really benefit from having if they have a clean slate of having a lot more new tag teams. There's a tag team that I enjoy. They have some chemistry. The fucking crowd cares about them. They seem to be something of, we had the Golden Aces kind of like last year as far as like the tag team that was kind of thrown together. It's like, wow, it's two heavyweight fucking awesome talents forming as one. But here we have an actual tag team, an actual unit, a part of a stable. So it's fun. It makes more sense from that standpoint. But just get GOD out of the tag division, or out of at least the tag title. See, maybe not the tag division as a whole, that kind of stuck there, but at least get them out of the tag title picture scene, and that'd be great for New Japan moving forward. So yeah, hopefully Dangerous Tekkers, fingers fucking crossed, get their win. It's the main event, and a match I am very, very looking forward to seeing, as it's Hiromu Takahashi and Sho, who they're both 1-1. Going into this match, the rubber match, even though it's a bit of an interesting 1v1, as, man, I mean, this is back. They have history going way back when Sho was in the dojo. Hiromu was kind of a big senpai for him. I mean, this was a big deal as far as Hiromu kind of giving his critiques and giving his kind of, because he was, as far as the dojo classes, right after Hiromu's was the Sho and Yo class. So they're close as far as that proximity. They have that history. Two of the best juniors, I think, on New Japan's roster, Hiromu and Sho. I mean, geez, Sho has really turned it on since he came back from excursion with Sho with Yo, and that first Best Super Junior was like the first, oh my, this guy's gonna be fucking awesome, and this is gonna be a big time matchup for him. Will he get the win here? Probably not. If he does win, that's huge and that's awesome, but I don't think it's gonna happen. This is just this first big step. First title match, probably going to lose, but it's, your growing pains. He can have a big Best Super Juniors and go on and win that, son bitch, which that'd be awesome. That'd be a huge win for Sho. It'd be a great way to make a new star. Because they have so many great guys, in the junior division right now, and they've had some great junior guys for the past decade or so, and it's clear, it's clear that New Japan's junior division is a big strong point. I'm happy that this gets a main event spot on the tour, and I'm hopefully, going forward, there's more, junior heavyweight title matches that are happening in the main event on these tours. But yeah, this is going to be an awesome matchup. Can't wait to see it. As that's for the first night. On to the second night we go for the New Beginning in Hiroshima shows. As again, basically the same Young Lion Suzuki Gun team, but now the Suzuki Gun team is Taichi, Zack Sabre, and Doki. So yeah, again, same thing. The Suzuki Gun beating Young Lions, as Young Lions are gonna get stretched the fuck out. So have fun. That's yeah, easy booking there for Ghetto. Just like, oh, we'll just take that same Young Lion team and we'll just put another Suzuki Gun team in there. As for the next matchup, second match on the card is Suzuki Gun versus Bullet Club. So heel versus heel. And what an interesting matchup on paper this is, as it's Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru taking on Yujiro, Taiji Shimoi, and El Phantasmo. So obviously junior tag team of Phantasmo, Taiji Shimoi with Desperado, Kanemaru. But then you have Minoru Suzuki, Yujiro Takahashi. Now, Yujiro has never been great. He's been decent at times, but he really has been lacking as far as, like, big-time players in New Japan. Yujiro's nowhere close to that. He was never that, and he probably never will be that. Obviously, he's been on the downline of his career now. But here with Minoru Suzuki here, he's at that age, obviously, he's in the 50s now, which, that seems, the new 50 seems to be like the new 30, as it just seems like just so many guys, we're talking about Satoshi Kojima at the last tour show, him and Will Ospreay. I mean, he put on a fucking show and a half there. That was an incredible match, an incredible display for a man who's 50 years old. To have a match with Will Ospreay at that level, that was fascinating to see. Here with Minoru Suzuki, he's not going to be able to pull that type of performance against, obviously, Yujiro in this undercard six-man, but it's just going to be interesting going forward if they continue with this kind of Bullet Club, Suzuki Gun kind of story, which I highly doubt it. I think that's going to be something that's going to be just on this tour, just to give Suzuki another win. Maybe Suzuki's eyeing something like a Never Open title fight against, I don't know, I love how it's a title fight, not even a title match. Right, it seemed like it was an actual shoot, but I mean, if they do Suzuki Tanahashi for the Never Open title, that's a big marquee matchup. I think that'd be fun, and a new wrinkle to that feud as well. I mean, obviously, at the fucking just mere, it's crazy how long ago that was. It was 7 years ago. It's that amazing match they had at King of Pro Wrestling, and to have a new kind of wrinkle of that story with this Never Open title matchup, that'd be a lot of fun to see. So that's kind of what I'm assuming is going to happen. We'll see what happens, though, if Geto is kind of on the same wavelength as me, or if I'm on the same wavelength as Geto, rather. As the next match, another six-man, it is Lion, well, I guess Lion Mark with shows in there, though, as kind of Lion Mark / Chaos six-man of Tomoaki Hanma, Sho, and Master Wato taking on Naito, Hiromu Takahashi, and Bushi. So again, Naito has just these undercard kind of feuds. There's times he shines where the same thing with like the Yoshihashi feud a couple of years back, where it felt like he really brought the best out of Yoshihashi. If he somehow brings the best out of Tomoaki Hanma at Hanma State right now, I mean, this is Hanma like pre-neck injury where it felt like he was going to be on the shelf forever. That was a different kind of Hanma that we see now post that, where it seems like he cannot work. If he is able to still keep going in the next like 4 years, I'd be shocked at this point. But to have a match with Naito, if they do like a big singles matchup, I'd be shocked if Hanma can kind of replicate that magic he had just 6 years ago. But it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, this matchup, you have Bushi Sho. They've had they had the night one match, and you have Hiromu and Sho. They've had their, fucking night one match. So you have a lot of pieces going into this. Could be interesting. There's a lot of intriguing stuff that can happen here. There's even Master Wato Hiromu. If, Master Wato beats Bushi, that can kind of lead into something going forward. So the next matchup, a Chaos Bullet Club tag matchup as Kazuchika Okada, Toru Yano taking on Evil and Dick Togo. Just a fantastic, counterparts. Dick Togo and Toru Yano. That's going to be a lot of campy stuff, but I think the crowd's going to pop for it. Dick Togo, God bless him, has took one of the funniest little table bumps we've ever seen at Wrestle Kingdom, and now to keep that going with Okada Evil, as Yano as the sideman for Okada and for this tag match is perfect. It's going to be a campy little mid-card match if they have Yano, Dick Togo in the same ring. But yeah, I think obviously Okada and Evil, they're going to kind of take the backseat for this matchup, kind of weirdly to say, just because I feel like they're going to save Okada Evil for either the Cup or somewhere else down the line as far as that type of match, that type of setting, whereas this is just kind of used as an undercard. Well, mid-card at this point, it's the fourth match on the card. But yeah, it's still, they might do some stuff, but obviously the big thing's going to be on Dick Togo and Toriano, which is an interesting strategy as our co-main event. It's that never open weight six-man title matchup. It's Chaos Bullet Club, Tomoyoshi Hiroki Goto for Yoshihashi taking on Jay White and God. You could see the tag titles changing here if Tama and Tonga Loa drop them to drop their tag titles to Dangerous Tekkers. Makes room for this Bullet Club team to have some belts. Would make sense. I mean, obviously the never openweight six-man tag titles don't really mean anything, so this could make at least something for Jay White and God to do going forward. But even though we will have, assuming the New Japan Cup on schedule of March, could change. They could change it back to somewhere like, towards June-ish area where there's not that big of a change from the New Japan Cup to Dominion. We shall see, though. I'm hoping they don't do that, but we shall see. But yeah, I'm going with the Bullet Club change. Bullet Club title change as Sonata and Kota Ibushi is our main event. And I felt like their G1 Climax match was a little too much, their finals. But here, if they have a type of main event type of match where it's not going to be that over the top, I think this could go very, very well. Obviously, Ibushi and Sonata, they're kind of built the same. They have the same type of abilities. I think just Ibushi's just on a whole nother level. He's been doing it a lot longer than Sonata has. But Sonata and Okada, they've had great chemistry. I feel like Ibushi and Sonata, they could kind of have that same chemistry. It hasn't showed up yet. Maybe this is the match where it happens. But I'm very looking forward to seeing it. Obviously, Ibushi's down around, a huge Ibushi guy. I'm so happy that he's got this moment. He's the double champ. He main evented Wrestle Kingdom, and he walked out as the double champion. Fantastic stuff, and I think this is going to be a great reign. As far as so far, it started off great. See if it can keep it going with this match against Sonata, which I think it's going to go well. If Sonata does beat him, which I'd be shocked, but honestly, again, if that is a quick turnaround as double champion, hopefully, I'm just hoping that they break up the double belts. It's been too long. It's time to break it up and have Intercontinental title back on the scene. I don't know if they're waiting on COVID. I don't know if they're waiting on just the right time, but eventually they gotta stop it. Eventually, it's gotta end. But yeah, I'm excited for the Ibushi Sonata match, as that is my previews. As really quick, I wanted to do my review for the first show that happened at New Beginning in Nagao, but I got snowed in and couldn't come back in time. But just quickly, I will say that Shingo Hiroshi Tanahashi matchup, I mean, fantastic. Shingo already is vying for a Wrestler of the Year spot already. The match with Cobb, the match with Tanahashi now, it's just been incredible. And, I already talked about the Kojima and Will Ospreay match, but that card was a lot of fun. Like, that co-main and main, that was like, man, it felt like New Japan is coming back to its kind of greater glory. Just the way everything's been booked, the talent that's been used, it seems like everything's going well. But it could change in an instant. It can change in a fucking instant. One bad thing can change everything, especially compared to what's going on in the Japanese pro wrestling world. You have what Pro Wrestling Noah is doing. They're having their Budokan show on the 12th, and it's an interesting main event they have pictured, as Go Shiozaki is going to take on Keiji Muto. It's going to be interesting, but we'll talk about that show later on. But we're closing out this video. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you all excited for the show as I am. I hope you all check it out. I think there's going to be some matches that are going to be high quality stuff, but we'll see what happens. So thank you all, and we'll catch you guys, hopefully, fingers crossed, for the review of said shows. Take care, everyone.